right. All right. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I did. Ate a lot of food. It's very, very stuffed. I'm back. I have some spare time. So I figured we try to finish this video, for the rest of the year. We'll watch this shit. I don't know, when it becomes relevant to watch it again, maybe next year. If Phil does some really retarded shit, retarded, overtly narcissistic shit all in a row, like he has during the Kino Casino arc, So yeah, man, good to see y'all. Welcome to the Bacon Social Club. This should be a quick stream, I'm hoping. Literally, I'm hoping, fucking fingers crossed. I only want to be here a couple hours at most. I gotta go to bed. Your boy got work in the morning and shit. But it's shit. We need to stop trying to watch this video in between Phil doing shit and other things going on. So yeah, bro. I'm just gonna be kicking it. We're gonna finish this off. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Victim. You can wear yourself out and...
Yo, what's up, Alchemist? Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you, man.
You can wear yourself out because you're constantly trying to reassure them and rescue them and tell them it's all going to be okay. And this will end up wasting for you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of emotional energy, and you will have nothing to show for it because they're not going to change.
Why do you think people have stabbed you in the back? Because I'm an easy target. Because I'm an easy target with really no way to retaliate, being that I'm a public persona. And so many people have treated me so shittily in my life, and they know that. And they know that basically I have no way to retaliate against anything. So why not, right? If you can get personal gain by stepping on someone's back and crushing them, why not? And that's what it is. People have done that my whole life. Seriously, I mean that. So many friendships and relationships where people have just kind of messed with me and fucked with me and used me and fucked me over to get their own way. It sucks, but it's literally almost everyone too. During that conversation, I talked about my own personal experiences and battles with it because people asked me, they said, Phil, you're one of the people who basically gets attacked the most on the internet. Understand why me? Why does this motherfucker, why do these people latch on to me? Why do people latch on to me? I'm just, I just don't get it.
In fact, don't take my word for it. Take DSP's.
Tom Bone tipped me $1. Says, do you ever get tired of being the victim? Yeah, every day. I don't ever want to be a victim. I never wanted to be, but sadly I am, I want to just be a positive content creator. I am absolutely 100% tired of being mistreated, tired of being attacked, tired of being slandered and defamed on a daily fucking basis by people. But they keep doing it. I didn't put myself into the situation, others did. I don't want to be like this. I never, by the way, never really cared or talked about shit like this until it started really negatively affecting my life years ago, right? So there you have it.
Number 10. Envy is the predominant emotion covert narcissists feel. They harbor contempt to minimize another person's success in order to secure perceived superiority.
And what envy entails is the desire for the envious individual toward the person who possesses what they want, toward that person losing that possession, toward them being stripped of it. So it's a very primitive and powerful and hostile emotion. So they're painfully aware of anyone that's higher in the dominance hierarchy than them. And this triggers painful feelings of envy for this individual and feelings of resentment. So this is a person that is much more vulnerable to feelings of envy and those feelings festering into hatred and contempt.
I don't even need to do any convincing here. DSP admitted to his own jealousy on multiple occasions.
I have one final thing that I want to say, and this I mean from the bottom of my heart, all right? And I'll be honest with you guys. To some extent, when I see a big streamer who's way more successful than me, or I see a giant YouTuber who literally just did something really fucking stupid and got virally popular because of something stupid that they did, and now they're basically set for life because they're millionaires. When I see that, yes, it gets to me. It does. And I think it gets to all of us in some extent. We see someone like that, and you're like, man, you know what? Why not me? And you see that, and you're always going to have...
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I said it earlier when I started the stream, but for whoever's just popping in, hope you all had a good day. You know, you all had some well-needed family time, you know. Yeah, everybody had a good one.
That feeling, that nagging feeling in the back of your head,
Good
that
to
man,
see
that
you
should
all.
have been me, and that little bit of jealousy. And I can publicly admit that to you guys right now. I feel it. I do feel it. All right? I absolutely 100% feel it. And I get angry sometimes when I see those tweets. This person who's filthy rich and or so successful. Oh, life is great and everyone should be positive. And here, I'm going to share positivity with you. Of course you could share positivity because you're filthy rich, right? He said, when was the last time you felt the human emotion of envy? You know, I feel it from time to time. I'll be honest, I'm human, right? Everyone has it. But there's people who literally do less work than me and are making 2 times as much money as me on just doing YouTube videos. They don't even live stream. I'm envious of people who get to do what they love on the internet and don't have this insane negativity attached to it. I'm very envious and jealous of that they never had that toxic movement happen to them like it's happened to me. I've always said this, and people give me shit. Oh, Phil, you just say that because you're jealous of bigger content creators. You just say that because you wish you had their popularity and their money. I mean, let's be honest. Of course there's a factor of jealousy. Here's people who literally get up in the morning. Like I said, all they do, they get up, they have a team of people who feed them drama news. They pick and choose, they cherry pick the ones they think they can get the most toxicity out of. They milk that shit. They put out a video a day of bullshit that really is no kind of value or content. They hurt people and they make money doing it. That's their life.
Number 11. With great envy comes great resentment. Narcissists are not known to forgive and forget.
Grievances are a way of life for them. And while they will hold almost no memories for all the good things that you have done for them, their memory is prodigious for remembering everything you have done wrong. It's quite significant how well they can remember all those bad things that they seem to have put in a special vault in their brain.
How do they bridge the gap between that idealized grandiose self and the reality of their lives, which is often not very flattering? And the way that they bridge the gap is by obsessively focusing on what is blocking their greatness being actualized, and by becoming very angry and resentful at those factors or people or situations that they feel is blocking their greatness. So this is a person who has an incredibly deep capacity for resentment.
To this day, DSP is resentful that he never received the proper acknowledgement for his 4th place at EVO in 2007.
And that was it. So I was the top placing American that year. It was actually 3 Japanese players above me, and then I was right under there. So I was 4th place, but I was the top placing American in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo that year. So technically I was the best ranked Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo player that year. But no one wanted to acknowledge it. As soon as immediately after the tournament ended, I shit you not, it was like, write this off, it doesn't count, even though it'll be on paper that he qualified, or that he beat this guy and that guy, and then on paper he made it to the finals and he's the highest ranked American. Doesn't count because that was a bad version of Super Turbo. And so it's kind of an unwritten law or word that year, even though I was the highest ranked American player, it didn't matter, didn't count. In the real Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo tournament, it was John Choi and Alex Valle who were at the top and everyone else. No, it's bullshit. What it is they're so fucking egotistical and cocky, these West Coast Super Turbo players, they can't accept a loss or defeat. And they were so angry that they had to play a different version of the game that year that they purposely didn't practice.
DSP is still upset about his past office job he was laid off from in 2010.
Crazy times. You got a bonus, but you might lose your job. Isn't that kind of like... That's just like me. I got a commendation. I actually got a big commendation at my job. A big special, certificate that said you went above and beyond, and then 2 months later they laid me off. Fucking idiots.
Finally, DSP is still holding a grudge about how wrongfully his former friends treated him over 4 years ago.
I didn't hold a grudge against him. He's the one who didn't respond to me, cut off contact with me, then made a video saying that I was basically a bad person and that he was really upset about things that I had done over the years. So the ball would be in his court. We texted all the time, so I don't understand what his gripe was. I really don't. I don't get to this day. I don't understand what his big holdup. I really feel that there was like underlying pent-up issues that he doesn't want to talk about. A real person who has responsibility, who has respect, who acts like a true responsible adult, a man per se, rather than someone who's a coward, who hides, who has pent-up resentment, passive-aggressive behaviors. A real person will upfront tell you when there's a problem. They won't hold it behind.
And then this little pussy, bro, when he reacted to the video itself, you know, John and Howard talking all this shit about Phil. He's all, yeah, well, you know, he always wants to retcon shit, bro. You know? But it's like, no, you sit here talking big shit, dude, about that
closed
video.
doors, secretly pretend like it doesn't exist, and then all of a sudden blow it up in your face to make you look bad. It's been over 4 years, guys. That was the burned bridge. That was them telling me, we really don't want anything to do with you. Even though they with their very fake faces in the video, say, oh, we would like to still have a connection with Phil. The phone lines are open. The phone lines have been open. I've been texting you for 6 fucking months and you never responded. So it's not that all of a sudden magically the phone lines are open. It's that you didn't respond to me. It's basically facetious. It's them saying one thing and meaning another. They want to look like the positive guys who never had anything wrong. Okay? They do. They want to look like they were always in the right and they did nothing wrong and I was the villain. Because that gives them the way out.
If you have a memory that's more than 18 months old, approximately, and when you pull that memory up to mind, if you still have an emotional reaction, that means you haven't fully articulated the memory. You haven't analyzed it causally. You haven't freed yourself from its grasp, and you're carrying it like a weight. And your brain.
I don't like Jordan Peterson like that, but I swear to God, he is really smart. He is, bro. It's like those far lefties that think he's not smart, but it's like, no, he actually be saying some, like, kind of dope shit sometimes, bro. You know, like, clean your room. It's good for boys to learn to clean their room. But no, that's true. But it's shit that all of us have been through, whether you want to admit it or not, right? Some shit has happened in your life, and it really got under your fucking skin. And once in a while, you find yourself fucking, like, you know, dwelling on it to a certain degree. Like, a memory comes up. It's like, you're not over it. You know, and it's like, cope if you say you are, you know? Because I've been there. Whether it be a girl, a job you lost, whatever the fuck. You're still sitting there like, ugh, motherfucker. I would have did this, and then I would have told him this. It's like, you're not over it, bro. This shit's done, right?
In response to that,
that's the real shit,
like, the more weight you're carrying like that, more baggage, let's say, the more of the stress hormone cortisol your brain produces, and cortisol makes you old. But if you're 30, 35, or 20, and most of the time you're thinking about your past, it's like,
oh my God!
It's like your soul is trapped back there, and you need to free it through investigation. And the metaphysical language is appropriate because that is, in a sense, what you're doing. You're trapped in the past. It's like you got to break free of that so you can use all your resources to move ahead into the future.
Number 12. Since the covert narcissist loves to establish their perceived superiority, they reserve the right to act condescending towards others. This shows in behavior where narcissists explain things others already know, minimize efforts of their peers, or tell others to relax.
The last symptom criterion is the appearance of being arrogant. Sometimes we think of this as being supercilious. And this is one of the more obvious symptoms in terms of there's observable behavior that we can tie to it. I've seen this manifest in a number of ways too. You could see condescending behavior, somebody talking down to somebody else. We can see the individual at MPD accuse somebody of poor performance or poorly evaluating the performance. For example, if they buy something from a salesperson, they may rate that experience very negatively, when in fact the salesperson really didn't do anything out of line that would merit such a rating.
I'm sorry that some people complain that it takes, like, oh my God, like a minute of work to sign up for a website, which, by the way, once you're signed up, you'll never have to sign up again. You'll be able to vote on every poll forever. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, there's been many viewers' choice events in the past 6+ months. I think there's been 3. So if you're still sitting around complaining that you don't want to register for a site, it's time to grow up and stop acting like a 4-year-old and realize that this will actually benefit you in the long run to be able to vote on so many events that will be viewers' choice coming up in the future that you should just grin and bear it and do it. All right? Stop whining and just do it. And that way you'll be able to participate in all these events. Because I'm not doing straw polls. I'm not doing Twitter polls. It's going to be on the forums from now on. So it just makes no sense that people would subscribe to the channel to hit a subscriber goal for a viewer's choice event to happen, then not vote on the event because they're too fucking lazy to spend 1 minute to sign up for a site. Grow up. Why is everyone else my favorite of this and my favorite of that? First of all, it's the most rudimentary question. Really, it's the most rudimentary question. What's your favorite this? What's your favorite, least liked, most liked, least liked, most liked? It's like if you have nothing to talk about, you ask like the most rudimentary question about what's your favorite. I don't play favorites, and I've played so many games in my lifetime. I'm not gonna go back over the course of my entire fucking life now and somehow remember the one favorite female character. Like, what a ridiculous thing. No W Day Day. I have zero intention to return to Red Dead Online. It was boring as hell when it launched, and from what everyone's explained, it hasn't gotten any better.
This is an especially good example of condescending behavior. Don't ever do this while you're talking to someone. What looking at your fingernails while talking to someone signals is that whatever is going on under your fingernails is miles more interesting than what the other person had to tell you. Number 13. Resulting from such a negative outlook on the world in general, the covert narcissist appears to be virtually unhappy most of the time.
Now, simply put, covert narcissists are chronic malcontents. They are never satisfied or content with anything. And that dissatisfaction comes out as criticism, complaining, contempt, anger, dismissiveness, frustration, all kinds of negative kinds of mood states and displays. They will complain about everything, and that makes life a miserable experience for anyone who has to spend time with them.
But narcissists don't provide accurate feedback. They provide feedback in order to widen the crack in the foundation, not to fix the crack. Because by widening the crack, the fissure in that foundation seems smaller by comparison. And that's what the narcissist is really trying to do. They're trying to feel better by making the victim feel worse. Narcissists aren't trying to move up the ladder. They're trying to push you down the ladder. Now, on this note of criticism, another associated characteristic is that it seems in some cases no amount of praise can compensate for criticism.
One way this becomes apparent is by observing how DSP never celebrates the success of other people, especially if they are already more successful than him. It should be obvious that he's primarily interested.
This happened the other day. This shit happened the other day, bro. Someone tried to talk about Kai Cenat, and he's like, I don't watch him, I don't care. You know, in his condescending little fucking bitch voice, bro. I don't really know, I don't really care. You know, I don't really follow what's going on with all those other people, you know? You know what I'm saying? He does this shit all the time.
In widening the crack in the foundation instead of fixing it. Here is how he reacts when things went well for Dr. Disrespect.
Timbo Slice just cheered, said, hey Phil, how you doing? What's your opinion on Dr. Disrespect getting a TV show? I don't have any opinion on Dr. Disrespect getting a TV show. I don't care about Dr. Disrespect whatsoever. I don't know why you would even ask me about another content creator on my stream that I don't give a fuck about. So thanks for the cheer. Okay.
On the other hand, here is how DSP reacts when Dr. Disrespect received punishment for his E3 bathroom incident.
This shit is too out of control. Me, I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna play some games at home, I'm gonna share those experiences with you, and that's the extent of what I do. These motherfuckers, I'm gonna go to E3, I'm gonna film people pissing in the bathroom. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. It's called, give me money. Give me drama dollars and give me money. And that's all it's about. It's about these scumbags doing fucking irresponsible things. They think the whole world is the world of Jackass or something. So for him, it's like, oh, I'm just above any kind of reproach or criticism because I'm popular. I can just do whatever I want. I'm going to go and completely disrespect the law and disrespect the rules of privacy and morality just to get attention today.
Since it's not already enough that people meet DSP's donation goal daily, people are also required to hit it the way DSP wants. Does this sound like a person who is happy with the support they receive?
Contributing. If you are considering contributing to the stream, I would say if you could contribute sooner rather than later, that would obviously help more, because the sooner we hit the goal, number one, I'll be wearing the vest for longer. And number two, I don't have to keep talking about it because people will be constantly addressing it in stream chat. I can kind of be like, all right, we can focus on the game now. All right. Fair enough.
In line with never being content with any amount of praise, here is an example where DSP focuses on the negativity he received instead of the well wishes for his quick recovery from sickness.
This is ridiculous because there were some people that were just completely understanding this week and were really nice to me. And I want to say thank you to anyone who was. But on the flip side, you got the complete asshats who are like, Phil's not streaming because he's sick. Oh, what a baby. Or he doesn't care. It's like, what the fuck? I am sitting here, Christmas week. You know, this week that I plan to spend with Kat and have special time and put on all these special events for all of you. I'm some of the worst I've ever felt in the past few years being sick. And people got to be negative dicks about it. Like, what the fuck? I just don't understand people. Like, how can you be like that?
Number 14. Covert narcissists love being difficult people to deal with. They think it makes them outspoken, truthful, and it speaks for their strong character, when all it does is making them appear unfriendly, stubborn, and spiteful. Worse than that, many seem to enjoy it too.
So we think of grandiose and vulnerable narcissism. Both of these types of narcissism would have anger, a tendency to be uncooperative, a manipulation component, being cold, antagonistic, and hostile. You see this sense of relief or satisfaction when a narcissist says something hurtful, or they recount how they said something hurtful in the past. The remark was not made because it was logical or appropriate, but for pleasure. As they're saying it or as they're remembering that they said it and talking about it, you see again this sense of relief on their face, kind of this subtle smile sometimes. Like even just the memory of it brings a little bit of joy.
DSP loves to insult developers.
But the idiots who made this game are that fucking stupid. Anyone who worked on that fucking broken-ass VCAN literally should never be employed again making fighting games. Like, they should never even be allowed to touch a keyboard that has to do with a fighting game. I mean, you have to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet to think that is valid gameplay. We lose by 1. Go fuck yourself, Treyarch. Fuck you. Off. Infinity War, go fuck yourself. You guys fucking suck. Serious morons.
His viewers?
Sauce Walker's so angry that I'm checking my phone. He's super angry. He's incredibly frustrated and upset that I would check my phone during a stream. Ah, does this torture you, Sauce Walker? Does this bother you? I'm interacting with a fun audience and you're giving me money. Running in circles, he says. I'm not going to be running in circles. I'm going to keep your money and I'm going to enjoy it. In fact, on Tuesday when I go out with my wife, I'm going to spend your money. And I'm going to laugh when I'm doing it. I'm going to say, that was that asshole's money. Here's 5, here's 10, here's 15. You fucking idiot. Okay, thanks for the $5, stupid. Alrighty. Luther Cujo has subscribed for 2 months in a row, 13 total. So for pretty much 13 months. That's cool.
DSP,
I won't watch the Borderlands 3 playthrough since you won't turn on the Twitch extension so you can interact with chat.
Cool.
Good.
Plug on that fucker.
Good for you. Miss out on the Borderlands 3 playthrough. That's your loss, not mine. Sucker! Okay.
And even other content creators.
You're using stuff going on in my life that's none of your fucking business for your personal benefit. You're a scumbag, okay? You are. You're a scumbag. You take people's plights, you take people's bad situations, and you turn them into dramatic, toxic content for your own channels and streams, and you think that that's something that's beneficial to the planet. It's not. Nothing you do is beneficial to the planet. All right? It's toxic garbage. It doesn't belong on YouTube. It doesn't belong on the planet at all. It shouldn't exist. All right? Even if Rich said something positive about me, in a moment's notice, if it would benefit him, he would flip it and turn it and make it negative again just to shit on me for his own personal benefit. That's the kind of person he is. That's the kind of person he's always been on YouTube. It ain't gonna change. In fact, just fuck off in general. Just don't exist. Seriously. Go away and stop making content, and guess what? You'd affect nothing in any negative way whatsoever. The world would still keep fucking turning tomorrow.
Disagreeable men won't do anything they don't want to do. They just say, up yours. I'll go home and play video games. Are you with you? I'm not listening to your stupid classes. And why should I work for you? I'll just go have fun. I'll do my own thing.
Side note. Researchers Nicholas Holtzman and Michael Strube found that subjects who scored higher in narcissism engaged in more disagreeable verbal behaviors, arguing and cursing more, and using more sexual language than their more modest counterparts. Additionally, they found that many narcissists feel justified in being mean to people. Number 15. Neuroticism is defined as the proclivity for experiencing negative feelings such as depressed mood, anxiety, worry, fear, frustration, or envy. Since covert narcissists convince themselves of their grandiosity, they constantly have to deal with the thought that the world never realized their greatness.
Because this individual's neuroticism and painful shyness and self-awareness inhibits their ability to perform, to be a winner.
They struggle with rational thinking. The emotions of the narcissist serve to protect them, but this comes at the cost of logical thought. Now, sometimes on issues unrelated to their feelings of self-worth, narcissists can be quite rational. What we really see here is inconsistency. One cannot count on the narcissist to be rational in any given situation. This also connects back to the idea that there's a risk in trusting a narcissist.
This becomes evident by how DSP has lost his ability for self-improvement. This bolsters his victimhood. He either has no time or no money for anything.
So imagine this, you know, playing the game, streaming, gotta upload, run out, buy the food, come home.
Hold on. True. It's either I have no time or no money, bro, to sit here and improve his life. Or he has to stream, you know what I mean? It's always an excuse.
Film the DSP tries and get the DSP tries editing, set up for the next stream, jump right to the next stream. It's hectic as shit. And it's really annoying because I don't even get a chance to catch my breath. If you just invest in PC gaming, you'd be getting so much more out of it. I don't have money to do 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 it.
DSP constantly proclaims how nervous he is about almost everything.
Now, things are getting better, and I'm excited, and I'm incredibly terrified about what's going to happen with this tax situation. Like, I'm really worried that, like, I'm going to get slammed with penalties, and the government's going to demand money I don't have. And now what's going to happen, you know, I'm really fucking nervous about it. So I'm hoping, what is the best course of action? I don't know. Can I make enough money on Twitch to support myself? Right now, I'm telling you guys, I'm making a lot of money on YouTube. And now that that's gone, I'm very, 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 very nervous about the future. Okay. I'll be honest. I was like, wow, I was nervous because number one, we really didn't hit it. By the time that normally I would have ended my stream, we didn't hit it last night, okay? So it was just coincidence.
He is also someone to get discouraged and frustrated quickly.
Instant headshot. Just think about that. Instant headshot. I had full 150 health and double level 2 armor, and he instantly headshot me and killed me. Great game. Why? What the instant death again? Again? Instant death again. So fuck this game. It's a piece of fucking shit. I hate it. I really do. I detest it. I got completely cheated. Fuck this piece of shit game. Seriously. Alright, that was amazing. Thanks everyone for watching tonight's garbage stream of a garbage game that crashes repeatedly and is a piece of fucking garbage.
Number 16. When they make themselves the center of the universe, it comes with no surprise that narcissists lack the appropriate empathy to connect to other people on an emotional level.
Narcissists are just really careless. They say what they want, they do what they want, they have very little care, very little regard for how their words or their actions will impact you. I'm going to be telling you, they just don't care. And there are a few ingredients that sort of come together here to help you understand that. First, and always, is their lack of empathy. They just don't take into account the feelings of other people. And they also have very little self-reflective capacity. They don't stop to think about how their behavior or their words might impact somebody else.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your job at
Or
Arby's.
it's like, not even so much how it might affect someone else, but how it might make himself look, right? As someone that takes himself seriously as a content creator, a professional, a businessman, owns a business, bro. He'd be sitting here like, oh yeah, bro. He blames us for why game companies and shit don't want to do shit with him. You know what I mean? Without any introspection about the things he says about the game he plays and shit. Like, these devs, they couldn't even wash a car. Like, he says, like, the most condescending shit about people that are actually smarter than him. And that could actually pay his fucking bills. You know what I'm saying? That's what that shit is, bro.
If you are being serious, that's very sad because, yeah, right now, so many people aren't able to consistently work. I know how lucky I am. And I'm super happy that I have a job, too, that I also enjoy doing during this very tough time. So I am super grateful. Again, thank you guys for all the support. Now we've got someone posting a giant paragraph saying that I've lost a viewer because I'm hostile to the viewers. I'm doing a pre-stream. I'm not even really directly interacting with anyone. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, and it sounds to me like you may have some personal problems to take care of. So have a nice life. Wow. Sambuca Cheat again, he said, I got a bonus for my employer. I might also be losing my job. It's a crazy time. You got a bonus, but you might lose your job. Isn't that kind of like... That's just like me. I got a commendation. I actually got a big commendation at my job. A big special, certificate that said you went above and beyond, and then 2 months later they laid me off. Fucking idiots.
Number 17. Covert narcissists often hold other people up to standards they don't hold themselves up to.
They maintain double standards. What's good for you is not necessarily good for them, or what you're required to do, they don't have to follow through with it.
Remember, they don't believe the rules apply to them, and they're actually very hypocritical. They hold other people's feet to the fire about the rules. They just don't follow the rules themselves.
One example is how narcissists actually perpetuate frustration in their relationships.
Narcissists say that they don't trust you when they have a history of lying, falsely accusing, and manipulating. So essentially, they're trying to...
It's pretty much how, like, Phil will question your tip. You know what I mean? That's a good example. Like, how Phil's like, alright, but I don't know, because I have a lot of trolls and all that shit. When he is admitted at this point, right, to misappropriating almost every single dollar to play a mobile game instead of paying bills, instead of improving his fucking house, improving his life, doing shit for his wife, bro. Oh, I don't know, I play with mobile games. Sorry. Right? But nah, dude, anytime anybody else fucks up, anybody farts wrong and Phil smells it, he's gonna make it a segment on his gay little fucking pretend fucking shit he calls a podcast, bro.
beat you to the punch.
Especially nowadays. That's why this video is, like, super relevant right now. Like, the way Phil's acting in a lot of these clips are, like, from Twitch. Like, the pre-2020 up to 2020 days, right? But, bruh, he's acting just like that, but worse. Way worse. Because he just feels like, yeah, no one cares. No one cares that I scammed people out of $200,000. And then he's just like, I could beg. I could do whatever I want now. You know what I'm saying? He's just worse about it, bro.
Do something that they do. This really has a defense mechanism feel to it, like projection. They know that they cannot be trusted, so they project that onto others. If they're grandiose, maybe they're fooling themselves into believing they can be trusted and everyone else can't be trusted. If they're vulnerable, they realize that they can't be trusted, but they become superior by believing other people are even less trustworthy. Narcissists just need to be better than everyone else. They don't actually have to be good.
DSP does this as well. He acts as if because others betrayed his trust, they shouldn't be trusted, when he operated from a position of low trustworthiness to begin with. everything to keep the negative attention away from yourself.
Why do you think people have stabbed you in the back? Because I'm an easy target. Because I'm an easy target with really no way to retaliate, being that I'm a public persona. And so many people have treated me so shittily in my life, and they know that. And they know that basically I have no way to retaliate against anything. So why not, right? If you can get personal gain by stepping on someone's back and crushing them, why not? And that's what it is. People have done that my whole life. Seriously, I mean that. Like, so many friendships and relationships where people have just kind of messed with me and fucked with me and used me and fucked me over to get their own way. You know, it sucks, but it's literally almost everyone too. That seriously, like, don't ever.
Yo, here's a pro tip: Sparking Zero rank, Gogeta's Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta automatic plug, bro.
Oh, well, they apologize. So immediately I just have to bring them back. No, that's not how it works at all. If they wronged you,
literally until they update this fucking game, just pull the plug every single time. Don't give a shit about it. Don't feel bad about it. Don't. Okay? Don't. If it's a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, yep, boom. Just yank the fucking shit out, dog, okay?
Then it's fine that they apologize. Obviously, it's nice that they learn from their mistake, but you do not
have to just
magically go back to the way they fucking were. It's up to you. You know, there's people who, you know, they mess with you, and then it's like, damn, if I bring them back into my life, they could be toxic. They could continue to be toxic. Or maybe I don't feel like that.
I'm talking specifically about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, okay? Because I don't know if you know the rank scene like I do, but he's like the most busted character in Dragon Ball history. Like, bro, it's like, motherfuckers want to be like, oh, that's how this game always was. Nah, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 wasn't this busted, you know? And every single character wasn't uniquely busted in their own fucking way. Like, nah, dude.
That apology's genuine.
Oh, man, we pull
you know,
that shit
and
on
you gotta do what's in your best interest, you do. You gotta do what's in your best interest.
Bro.
It's your call.
DSP also wants people to look good for others in a public broadcast, but won't give himself the same respect.
I'm not saying you have to dress up like a super...
Nah, bro, you don't understand. Unless you played, like, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or 2... No, bro, it's like Sparking Zero itself is mechanically fucking broken and simplified. And so it makes super broken characters even more broken. And they need to be, like, nerfed and shit. Like, Yajirobe, he wouldn't be shit in fucking BT3 day one, bro. But he had to get his fucking kneecaps fucking replaced. The fucker, like, there's character... Like, bro, Raccoon starts out with 4 fucking health bars on top of, like, extra tank defense. And he was a one-shot. Goku one-shotted him. You know what I mean? It's like people that watched a few episodes of Z and shit, they're the ones that programmed the characters, bro. It's like, why the fuck is Raccoon so powerful? And then in DP rank, bro, you can stack the whole Ginyu Force, Doug. Literally in one team, and all of them are broken, and like in an actual fucking mechanically fucked fucking way. You know, nah, bro. You ain't been that deep in the trench. You ain't seen what I seen. You know, you ain't seen body part. You ain't seen your own hand get cut the fuck off in front of your face for no reason.
We're villain, like some of these fucking people, like the EA CEO. At least try to look like a normal fucking human. You may be a jackass in real life. At least do something. At least do something with your beard. You know, don't look like a fucking unkept asshole. So since I'm actually gonna be in front of real people, that's when I shave. So there you go. You know, I streaming on the internet on a tiny webcam, not a big deal. Actually going out, I don't want to look like a bum when I'm with my wife. So there you go.
DSP evidently blames a lot of outside factors for his misfortunes, but scolds an imaginary crowd for doing the exact same thing he does.
Why on this planet do we have to always play the blame game? This is actually something unrelated, but why do we have to do this? When something goes wrong, there's always got to be a finger to point and someone who has to be responsible afterward. Maybe things are just fucked up sometimes. You ever think of that? Maybe things, though this isn't a land of lollipops and fucking rainbows.
Number 18. Resulting from the lack of understanding of other people's emotions is a poor understanding of personal boundaries. Covert narcissists will often meddle with private affairs which are of zero concern to others or the narcissist themselves.
Poor boundaries is such a...
Bruh, okay, Sonic, I don't want, like, high-tier characters to be nerfed It's the actual mechanics of the fucking game, bro. Like, there's just too many fucking... Dude, the original Sparking games didn't have this many, like, revenge counters, Z counters, fucking vanish counters, counter this, counter that. Dude, there's an auto Sonic Sway. When Sonic Sway was something you mechanically had to do in the old games. Like, nah, bro. There's too many, like, giveaways in the mechanics, which I don't mind, right? But it makes it all unbalanced in ranked, bro. Just in ranked, it does. Like, so the super broken, tough fucking characters, bro, if you know how to use all the broken mechanics in this game, it's like no use. Why the fuck am I doing this? Because you can stack high damage, high fucking defense. You get broken fucking actual meta defense on your character, like auto armor, bro, and you get fucking there's shit like wild sense and the fucking vanish mechanic in this game. There's just too many little things that intersect with kind of the broken mechanics of the game, bro. I don't know. It doesn't feel like the old games. I love this game. It's still, like, my rating still stands. This is a 10 out of 10 Dragon Ball fighting game, but ranked, bro. It's more broken than Fighters. It's more broken than fucking Xenoverse, bro. But it has better servers than Xenoverse, if that makes sense. It's like, what the hell? And they're doing, like, supposedly a big update in December. Because even, dude, there was a big tournament in France where one of the players, he purposely, bro, exploited all the broken as shit mechanics of the game just to make a point. Like, he pretty much just ran away, just flying up and down like this. This happened to me. Just people could do shit like this. And this is never a thing. Not even a Xenoverse. You could just do this. And then you'll lose tracking and you'll be sitting there swiping at the air. And then if you do a Z fucking Dragon Dash, you won't even zoom in correctly, bro. You know, it's like little fucking things like, I'm talking competitive, really. It's fine for the story. It's fine if you're fighting against friends, dude. But for rank, this is the most busted as shit fucking shit ever. And then there's so many characters that have, like, unblockable moves when it shouldn't be unblockable, you know?
Classical manifestation.
Like Raccoon! Like, Raccoon's the best example of the most broken, busted fucking character. Hillbilly, redheaded fuck that got one-shotted by Goku. He has unblockable ultimates, instant sparking, you know? Like, no, it's busted. His game's busted as shit to a degree on a competitive level. Like, it is not fun to play, dog. You know, it is what it is. I still have fun playing it. I still love it, right? But no, this game's like busted as shit.
Poor boundaries happen
to the gills
when a person goes over a line that's really not appropriate. And believe it or not, poor boundaries can be found in any relationship.
And I have like
just
almost a 50% win rate, so it's not like
doesn't mean there can't be poor boundaries.
I lose a lot.
Example,
this is what's broken.
You may have
it's
a
like,
sensitive work file on your
there's
desk.
like so many times I should have won,
through it.
but I don't. People know how to use the busted ass shit.
Certainly a friend asking you questions about your life that you're not ready to answer. That's a poor boundary.
When DSP talked about the medical issue of his ex-fiancée, he evidently overstepped the boundary. I don't care if she gave him permission for it. It is common decency to let the afflicted person talk and not let someone else talk for you.
Now, Leanna has a history of doing this, having these attacks. It's not her fault or whatever. She just had it in her life. She's had a bunch of them. And she just happened to have a really bad one at work today. It's happened before, and if it's at home, usually there's no problem. We can get her to calm down or whatever. But at this time, it happened in the middle of a work day. She was really stressed out, apparently, and boom, it hit her. And basically, it was so bad that no one could get her to calm down, and they had to call the paramedics. Obviously, so you're okay. You didn't fall, you didn't hit your head or nothing, right? No, just it happens. It sucks because it happens every once in a while. And now this is the worst one she's ever had, so maybe that she has to go see her doctor and try to get some kind of thing to take care of it. Because the bottom line is with anxiety attacks, they suck. The reason that they suck is there's really no way to cure them.
For the next clip, I have to break my own rule because it is a clip from before DSP's move to Renton. I hope you can forgive me just this once.
My parents were being overprotective. I'll tell you why. Because they were having problems with their marriage. I know I've never really talked about this publicly before. I will right now. This is real and from the heart. They were having problems with their marriage at the time when I was in high school. They may or may not have cheated on each other. I don't know or care because it's not my fucking business and I don't give a shit what they did, right? But what they decided to do, they decided to put me in the middle of it and make me the center of the issue.
DSP's interactions with Rambo post-move were a disaster. In this clip, he, under false pretenses, got Rambo to text to him to get a response, only to break his own promise of "don't worry about cameras" and read his private texts for everyone to hear on camera.
You know, I told you guys I'm the realest person on the internet. I got nothing to hide. I'm going to tell you exactly what we talked about via text. And basically I said, here you go. I said, hey John, I hope you're doing well. Haven't heard from you recently. I'd like to catch up with you, off camera. Don't worry about any filming. I just want to hear how you're doing. We haven't talked in a while and it feels weird to me. I knew you had schnozzle going on, but when you didn't respond at all to my text last week, it felt like something may be wrong. Just let me know. No pressure. I want to know where we stand and that you're okay. And then John did respond this morning and he said, hey, you're going to have to count me out for a while. I need to get my money together so that I can move to a better place. YouTube stuff isn't going to help me with that. I'm around most nights if you ever want to call. So I did respond to him and I said, all right, in the next couple days, I'll try to squeeze in a time when I can call. I know there's a big time zone difference. But the bottom line is it sounds to me like John is just not interested in doing anything on YouTube right now.
Number 19. Covert narcissists hate proactively looking for entertainment. As with many things in their life, they demand it to be delivered to their doorstep instead of them searching for it.
Okay. And a lot of chronic boredom. And they expect the world to entertain them. Now, then we're back to covert narcissists, that they expect to be entertained. Now, your overt narcissist is also like this as well, is they expect the world to entertain them. Well, I'm bored, so do something I like. We're supposed to seek out what we like on our own. That's because we know that we like it. These folks don't do that. They have chronic boredom, entertain me, keep me interested, because that's your job. Otherwise, I am the most bored and I suffer the most.
Evidently, DSP loves to tell people that they should talk to him, and not the other way around, to make his streams more interesting.
I haven't talked to chat in ages. No one in chat's talking to me. So why would I talk to you guys? Everyone's ignoring the game for some reason, which I don't understand. Well, input job, if you think this is getting a little boring, why don't you talk to me or ask me a question? Or interact with me to make it more interesting. Instead of just sitting there complaining that it's boring. People in the stream chat aren't really talking that much, and what they're talking about has nothing to do with the game, and no one's asking me questions. So I'm completely disconnected with what's going on in the stream chat. This game's very boring if you're not having interactions. It's like really boring.
Sometimes he's so bored, he starts looking at his phone for extended periods of time.
Where I get on top of my soapbox, huh? Okay.
Or he falls asleep, guys. I know it's been a while, but let's never forget. Oh, bro, my VTuber's breaking. There we go. Don't forget the DSP sleeping streams. Usually when he's playing a Yakuza game, bro, at night, this fucker starts nodding off, dog. And if it's a long cutscene, he actually, falls asleep for, 2 seconds. Okay? The longest amount of time I've seen this fool actually eyes asleep. Damn it, man! I feel like Kino Casino ruined so many of the little funnier things, bro, that we used to get. But yeah, Phil used to see her just, nod off, bro. And fall the fuck asleep, so fucking bored, dude. I'm dead as hell.
He might even be so tuned out at some point that he doesn't care about falling asleep on stream.
Ah! I didn't know you call that shit out.
Oh my god. ruled zero. That's me being sarcastic, by the way.
You could run.
Wherever you go, people will find you if they want to badly enough. And for this, they want blood.
But you and Mikhail, you have so much history.
Sure.
Well, I killed the boy, so they want me to.
No. I told them you were a hired gun.
Huh.
And they said, as long as you were the one to kill him, you'd be spared.
So that...
Number 20. It's virtually impossible for a narcissist who's constantly projecting to turn around, look at themselves, and question their own behavior.
Another perspective is the narcissist has not developed a sense of introspection. To them, the world is what you see out there. They look only at measurables. Did you do this correctly? Did you do this incorrectly? They'll focus on the what or the how or the should, but they don't focus on the why. The introspective person says, well, as we go through our interactions with each other, let's have a real well-developed understanding of why we do what we do. The narcissist is like, nah, I don't need to think that way. Just do what I tell you to do, because that's the way they've learned to think.
They fixate on the imperfections of others. The narcissist is always paying attention to other people's mistakes, eager to offer their unsolicited and almost always unhelpful advice. When confronted with their own shortcomings, they get defensive and double down on their criticisms. So we see that even more rage and anger comes out when they're confronted with their own problems, when they're confronted with the reality that they're not really better than anyone else.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. I did nothing wrong. Like, the thing is in life, and I've certainly learned this over the years, okay, is in order to be a good winner, you have to know how to be a good loser. And you never learn anything and get better by winning constantly. It's the true, this is actually, I actually was just talking with Kat about this the other. It's funny because the truth of the matter is, this is a huge commentary on like YouTubers. Just because people watch doesn't mean what you're doing is meaningful or good, right? Just because people watch you do horrible things on YouTube, like drama videos, toxic content, stealing other people's content, insulting people constantly, or acting like a fool, it doesn't mean that you're putting out anything of quality or that you should be. It's just that people are just staring at you because you look so fucking stupid. It's true. Absolutely 100% true.
Number 21. Covert narcissists offer quite a lot of time, mental efforts, and credibility for keeping up their self-deception.
Interestingly, the narcissist is equally comfortable regardless of their actual position because they have built a fantasy in their mind. So from their perspective, they can't have their position lowered. They don't sense the damage to the reputation. They don't sense how they are hurting themselves by hurting others. For example, one can imagine a scenario where a narcissist is accused and convicted of a crime. In response to this, they make a false allegation about their accuser, and that accuser is subsequently convicted of a crime as well. So both the narcissist and the accuser end up in prison. Shortly after arriving in prison, the narcissist says, "This place isn't so bad. This was my plan all along. I've always wanted to be in prison," right? So they take what's clearly a negative and turn it into a positive. Again, their actual position doesn't really seem relevant. It's all what they think about themselves. And narcissists are really good about lying to themselves. Actual success or failure doesn't matter as much when somebody can deceive themselves. In that skill, the narcissist is truly great. The only person a narcissist really needs to deceive is themselves. They try to deceive others, but again, they only need to lie to themselves. And of course, they need to believe those lies.
The reasons that people still hate on me today have nothing whatsoever to do with anything legit. Back in the day, maybe they had an argument. Today, it's just bullshit. It's just them doing it for the sake of doing it, for popularity, for drama, so they get attention, or otherwise just because they're nuts. There's no valid reason to hate against someone like me anymore. I was, at one point, 100% positively thought of. Busted his fucking ass on a daily basis to make sure that I had fun content for you out there, and I was the one who did everything by himself, grassroots, from the ground up, built who I am and what I am on the internet without any help from anyone fucking else. You know, and it's crazy. It's crazy that I have remained as successful as I am, in my opinion. That I could still do this for a living. It's insane that I'm this successful, in my opinion. But it's definitely a success story,
it's worse, bro.
For sure. So that's a good thing. I know what I'm doing. I've been around the block. You know what I mean? I've talked so much on microphone for the last 10 freaking years that I've pretty much mastered it.
Heresy. That spot is reserved for hostage negotiators. These people save lives by choosing the right words and tone of voice. Number 22. Why listen when you can just talk about yourself? Covert narcissists are not interested in your daily events, but they're eager to tell you everything about theirs, especially if you didn't ask.
The next associated characteristic is not being a good listener. This is fairly common with NPD, and of course we know that with NPD there is a lack of empathy in many instances, and sometimes this and other factors translate into not listening well. Sometimes we see with individuals with NPD, they appear to listen, but then when they respond with information about themselves. So as somebody's talking, they're really calculating what they can say about themselves to make themselves look better, to fish for compliments, or to otherwise seem more important and seem superior.
In the following clip, DSP takes a stunning 5 minutes of rambling before he answers the original question posed.
Fatal Skills asks the following. He says, what's up, Phil? Curious, what size TV do you play on? I always wonder what you see on your end. Well, a little bit of history.
Holy fuck, bro.
Just by the thing they would say on it, of course it doesn't, right? It doesn't say on it what it is.
That's why I took a break from editing DSP videos too, bro. It's like, oh my god, I gotta listen to the same clips like 3 times to make a video sometimes. It's like, fuck.
You have to bring out a freaking tape measure and start measuring the damn thing. But I'm pretty sure
rambles, bro.
It's 42 inches. Okay?
On another occasion, he doesn't even answer the question.
Luna says, will you be playing the new Call of Duty Battle Royale? From what I'm to understand, it's not even really like a normal Battle Royale. Like, it's weird, it's got these gimmicks to it. As Timbo Slice was telling me the other day, he's like, it's really not like a normal Battle Royale. They're kind of really. Oh, look at this. So this is Renegade. Good luck, good work with that Korean, man.
I understand you have an arrangement.
Sometimes he just completely digresses from the original topic. In this example, DSP turns the topic away from notifications on comments are bad to why did I turn off comments?
Notifications on comments on YouTube. Like, YouTube is literally getting worse and worse every single fucking day. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You know, the reason I can't really attest to it is because I don't know anything about the comment system on YouTube. I haven't used it in almost 2 years, and quite frankly, when I did use it, it was a waste of time anyway. Like, it was just toxic and unmoddable and just to make it a waste of time. It's hilarious because, you know, when I used to have YouTube comments running, okay, basically it got so disgustingly bad and toxic that my actual viewers and fans who were there for positive stuff asked me to turn them off. They actually said, Phil, just turn them off, you know? They're so gross.
Number 23. With all their petulance and stubbornness, narcissists are often regarded as immature.
Narcissists do not have depth. This is really one of the more frustrating elements for a lot of people. Even though we think of narcissism as protecting a fragile ego, that doesn't automatically mean the ego of the narcissist is complex. They're not necessarily protecting a sensitive inner self. Often when people do reach the core of the narcissist, they find it to be hollow and immature. In a sense, it's like the narcissist became stunted at an earlier stage of development, like they're trapped with the mentality of a child or an adolescent. Sometimes people hold out hope for a deep and meaningful relationship with the narcissist, only to come to the realization that even without the narcissism, this may be impossible.
Bureau just did a 5-sub bomb.
That's so true. And dude, another good example is Phil, the way he shows off all the shiny new things he bought. I don't know. I'm not mad, right? Because that's what dent heads and shit want to get wrong. I'm not mad at Phil's buying shit or using his money for things that, I don't know, he thinks improves his life or whatever. It's, a grown person wouldn't sit here and go, hey guys, look at this computer. Like, he shows you things like a little kid. Like a little kid, bro. Like, I don't know, unless you've had a child, right? You don't know what I'm talking about, right? But, little children, they tend to show you, like, these little insignificant things. And they beg for your attention, and they shove it in your face, and it's like, hey, Dad, look what I can do. And it's like jumping in there while wiggling their arms, right? There's like a basic bitch little picture. And then they end up doing that to their peers, if that makes sense. Like, they carry that same mentality, like, look what my mom and dad got me. You know? And I've had, like, little white kids that were my friends back in the day that get, like, a new Nintendo, right? Bro, this is actually a good story. I'm rambling, and I'm making it about myself. But it's a good example. I was friends with this little white kid back in the day, bro. And his mom bought him the Game Boy Advance when it came out. And he was rubbing it in my face. Look, chill, look at this, and da-da-da, look at the games I got for it. And then I'd ask if I could play with it. He'd be, no, I just got it, man. You know, I don't want too many people touching it right now. And my mom noticed this. You know, this is probably the most gangster shit my mom ever did. But she noticed this, and she bought me, like, the see-through one. The one she thought was better. And she's like, I didn't like how that little fucker was, like, rubbing that in your face, and he didn't even let you try to play with it. You know what I mean? It's like, that always stuck with me. Like, it's always, like, little, weird-looking white people that don't have shit. They're always trying to rub the little insignificant shit they get in your face. Because they don't have shit else. It's like, they're ugly, they're weird looking, they don't feel confident about themselves. You know they don't like their lives, right? But they always have to sit here and make prompt and circumstance about every single thing. And, you know, it's always
Congrats to those who just got a random sub.
It's like, that taught me a life lesson about certain types of people.
Bum bum smelly yum yum. What the fuck? Bum bum smelly yum yum. Oh, piece of shit. Suck my ass. Suck a turd right out of my butt. How about that? Suck it. Suck the turds. Fuck you. Debauchery. I still remember one of the best quotes he ever did. He's reviewing Dragons.
Yo, have fun with your mom, motivation. Thanks for kicking it with us. Tell your mom that we all said we love her. We love you too, bro. Have a good day.
Blair on the NES.
Happy
was
Thanksgiving. It was good to see you.
What if you were in a river of piss, right? And someone above you, there was a bridge where everyone was taking a shit. He says, "What do? Do you hold your nose and jump in and just go wholeheartedly under the piss, or do you put your head above the air and take on the shit?" And I was like, oh my god, like, I laughed my ass off, don't get me wrong. I just remember the Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout episode where he takes a shit on Bugs Bunny. Liquid shit squirts all over Bugs Bunny on camera. I was like, god damn, that was funny as fuck, but it was so, like, over-the-top, lewd, crazy humor. And that's kind of the thing that was big back then.
Number 24. It doesn't take much to get a covert narcissist triggered. Remember to walk on eggshells around them to not awaken their wrath.
So when a narcissist is disappointed, and I'm sure many of you know this from your own histories with them, they do not handle it well. The typical reaction is to throw a tantrum. Very much like a 3-year-old would. They get very, very angry, very, very dysregulated, and it happens very, very quickly. It can actually be quite unsettling to see it because it happens so fast. Listen, anytime any of us are disappointed, we don't always handle it well. You know, I mean, we might walk into a place and yeah, they said they would have a reservation at 8 and they're like, oh, it's not gonna be till 8:30, and you might be like, ugh. But you can catch yourself and say, all right, I'm gonna go take a walk, I'm gonna have a drink at the bar, whatever it is. But odds are most of us would not start screaming. And if we do every so often, we all get moments that we don't get it just right. It's rare. It's not the norm. For a narcissistic person, a disappointment almost invariably brings out those really rageful, sudden kinds of reactions.
Couldn't see him at all. My line of sight was fucking blocked, so whatever. Whatever. I had a great run. But I never had a shot on him because he was running around, jumping around like a fucking rabbit. So I never had a shot on him. His invasion game was tight. No, it wasn't. He basically did every fucking stupid possible thing. Running and jumping, and you can't hit anyone running and jumping in this fucking game. It's so stupid. Because what should have happened is he jumps and lands, and then he can't move because he's exhausted because he jumped like an asshole. Instead, in this game, you move full speed like you're a fucking insane athlete. You're bouncing all over the place. Fucking stupid. I should have had that, dude. I should have had that. Especially after those sniping kills, I should have fucking had that shit. Plus, it was bullshit. I did hit him with the fucking sniper shot and he didn't die. And it was a headshot when he was on the ground there and he didn't die, so he must have level 3 armor or something. He should have been dead. Well, that's it. I don't have enough time for another match now. We only have 10 more minutes that I would have played, so. It was a good session. It made no fucking sense. He's right there. I jump from mid-range. I go over him. Here comes the hit. It whiffs. What? He's right fucking there. The two bodies connect on screen, but my fucking jumping whiffs. Because the game's a piece of fucking shit. Dumb fucks who made this game to understand how hitboxes work in a fucking fighting game. A bunch of dumb-ass, brainless idiots. Mouth-drooling fucking morons who didn't know how to make a fighting game. And just because they got the backing to make Street Fighter 5, everyone has to play the piece of shit. This game fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Fight. A pussy quickscope. Another pussy quickscope. Pussy quickscope. Pussy quickscope. I just spawned. There's no skill to that. 0. Pussy quickscope. Another quickscope. Quickscope. All pussy quickscope. No skill at all. None. 0. Pussy quickscope. This is insane. Pussy quickscope. Pussy quickscope. He wasn't even looking down the sight. Pussy quickscope. He spawned behind me.
Number 25. As you might expect, covert narcissists hate being denied the things they seek. But instead of dealing with their disappointment maturely, they often like to rage instead.
So what is narcissistic rage? Well, this is an anger that we observe frequently with people who are highly narcissistic, including many of those who have narcissistic personality disorder. In the moment when a narcissist is criticized, or whatever triggers the reaction, we see that the anger is sudden, irrational, disproportionate to the level of criticism, and may involve physical gestures or even aggression. So that's the reactive component. So when the narcissist is criticized, that challenges the narcissism, that protective part. The narcissist compensates for the criticism through rage. Rage allows the narcissist to keep that false self in place, to maintain their own self-deception.
The broken icons that stuck on my HUD are my fault. Fuck you, you dumb shit. Oh my god. I open fire into his body, he survives, I die. Fuck you, Infinity Ward, you fucking suck. Seriously, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you, you guys are fucking scumbags.
Let's go.
Now Peach beats me. Get the fuck this fucking game. I just wrecked Peach. She started off after me, she beats me. Fuck you. Fuck you, Ghost Games, you dumb fucking ass cuck fucking pieces of fucking shit. You guys couldn't make a fucking video game if someone handed you a completed one. Oh my god, you guys are fucking morons. Rubber Band City.
And now for the reveal of the secret, which really isn't a secret. This video is ultimately pointless. Why? Ego syntonicity. Initially, my intentions were to point out narcissistic behavior DSP exhibits and tell him how to improve upon it. But once I started formulating my thoughts for this video, I decided that for 2 reasons I will refrain from doing so and focus on getting out a message instead. For one, the guy's 38 years old at the point of making this video. He had tons of time, experience, and criticism in the limelight of the lolcow community to understand how his behavior is fundamentally dysfunctional and disruptive. If he's as smart as he says he is, he should have figured it out by himself. And 2 is simply for my own sanity. No amount of constructive criticism can help a person who believes that their dysfunctional behavior is in line with their self-image. That's what it means to be egosyntonic. This is different from someone who realized that their way of acting is causing problems for them or others, and is in conflict with what they actually desire. I recently had the opportunity to work with someone who suffers from binge eating disorder. I could see from the beginning how deeply sad the person felt because of their uncontrollable behavior, and it really left a mark on me how the acceptance of your darker sides is an important part of your journey through life. This person was clearly
pretty much it's you need to be aware who you are and what makes you susceptible to the more harsher parts of your personality, and owning it. That's how you can ever get better, bro. It is. It's the only reason, like, dude, if you don't like me, you know, if you're a detractor or don't like me for whatever reason, or some motherfucker don't like me, I get it, right? Because I used to be way worse, bro. I used to be, like, so much worse of a person to where I was so depressed with myself, right? But it took a lot of work, bro. I'm honestly a better person than what I used to be. Could I use some improvement? Sure. Am I too old to really give a fuck to a certain degree? Yeah, I am. You know? And that's owning it. It's like, I own it. I'm an asshole. But I'm one of those assholes that, I don't know, if you chill out with me enough, you find, hey, you ain't that bad, or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm me, and I can't sit here and go like, oh yeah, this is who I am, and this is how people perceive me. But you have to have enough awareness to go like, yeah, bro, people don't like me. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not doing everything that everyone else is doing or acting a certain way that people expect or humph. That makes it makes life easier, bro. It just does. If people are trying to come at you or things happen to you, right? You have to be aware of yourself and have a good spiritual sense of self, bro, to grow. It's like, that's the one thing I do feel like really bad. I feel sorry for Phil. Like, I pity him. That there's like nothing there, bro, to do any introspective fucking like afterthought or thinking or anything about himself. Like, I'm telling you, he's broken. He is broken, bro. And if you watch this video front to back like we have, it's like, yeah, no, like, it makes everything fucking click. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more to really understand about Phil or to get upset about or humph and all that good shit.
Ego dystonic.
It was like, he's broken.
You can see why narcissists don't feel that way. The primary focus of meaningful self-improvement is the acknowledgement of fault, agreeing with your own inconsistency, meaning that you once thought differently, and commitment to change. Narcissists fail at every one of those stages.
Well, Sonic, I kind of disagree with that, right? It depends on the behavior. It depends on the person and the behavior, if that makes sense. There's some people that let people walk all over them their whole lives, and they never set boundaries and all this shit, and it makes their lives fucking miserable, bro, until they learn to be, you know, what other people consider being an asshole, right? Like, sometimes with some people, the way I set boundaries is like me being a fucking dickhead. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. In real life and in your little online interactions and shit. You have to set boundaries. You have to be firm, right? But sometimes it's how you present those boundaries to other people, I guess, to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, when it comes to your feelings and how you think how things are gonna affect you, you're the most important person, and you're the only person that can set those boundaries, right? But when you have mental illnesses, dog, it just makes the waters way more muddied, if that makes sense. Like, dude, people that don't set boundaries and they have mental illnesses, they end up being like people like DSP fans, right? Like, they're able to just be milked forever. And people that do have mental illnesses, that do set boundaries, they tend to be just like DSP, where you can't reason with them, you can't compromise with them, you can't have a conversation, you know, slightly telling them how they could do. No, you know, everything's out the window. It depends on the person, how mentally, you know, tilted they are in the real life and shit.
They blame mistakes on others or circumstances. They don't think that they should be responsible for something they did in the past because they don't feel that they were the same person. And they abuse something called future faking. It means that they lie about something they want to do in the future to get what they want in the present. To no surprise, they most likely won't deliver on the promise they made and instead just gaslight you with something like,
Like, see, this is shit that almost all of us have done. Future faking, right? But it's more common in grown adults. It's more common in people with mental illnesses and addicts. But if you're an addict, mental illness kind of overlaps with it to a certain degree. But they future fake, like, oh yeah, you know, I used to do it when I was a kid, bro. We all have done it, but you don't realize it. But we've all future faked, like, oh yeah, you know, next time won't be like what happened now. I'll work hard and, you know, it'll all be different. And it never is, bro. Because you never actually take that time to really fucking work on yourself.
I never said that. You can imagine why narcissists don't exactly show up to be diagnosed or to get help. Why talk to someone about something that you don't believe to be an issue but a healthy part of your personality? I feel justified in being mean to people if they're mean to me first. Yes, two wrongs make a right. Minus times minus is plus. You learn that shit in school, and it feels like you didn't pay attention in school. You must be an idiot. I got it all figured out. You're actually a fraud. Even worse is when narcissists sometimes do have to appear for consultations. And believe me, they love missing out more than attending. They spend the time listening to the therapist or consultant and start to learn about how their behavior can be even more efficient in manipulating or gaslighting people. This is essentially a big risk-taking in mental health, as agreeing to counsel a narcissist can backfire in a really bad fashion. Instead of dulling their proverbial blade they used to cut others with, a therapist can help sharpen it instead. I'm not saying that therapy can't help a narcissist out of their narcissism, but the chances for complete or partial recovery are incredibly slim. Narcissists are all about diversion tactics. Keeping you off your game, questioning your own thoughts and memory. They love to confuse others because it makes them easier to manipulate. DSP bloats his sentences with redundancies, tautologies, and filler words to sound smarter than he actually is. It's not even about being superior to others anymore. It's simply enough for him to appear superior. Ironically, he thinks he can appear smarter, but only ends up hurting his own intelligence in the process. He corrects other people's grammar when it's impolite to do so, tells them that's not even English when there's probably just a slight error in sentence structure or a typo, something that happens pretty frequently when you're typing on a keyboard. Not so for valedictorian Phil. He demands accurate English syntax and semantics whenever you address him.
Okay. Essentially, let me paraphrase this, because this is not even in English for those who don't play Minecraft. Electric Sheep Dreams is angry at me.
DSP is infamously known for using words incorrectly. Not just common misconceptions, but words and meanings which are way off. He mistakes the terms cold turkey for blind, as in play a game for the first time.
Experience the series for the first time, you know, cold turkey, and people love when I play things for the first time to see what they're all about.
Uses reactionary when he means reactive.
Versus they make you react. See what I mean? Reactionary gameplay versus actually thinking about something going on.
Thinks that penultimate means greater than ultimate when it just means second to last.
That would be the penultimate. That would be even bigger than the underdog story of Daniel Bryan. That would be like, holy shit.
The funny part is that he has been corrected on all of these terms, and he still chooses to use them wrong. Tough word ahead. Ultracrepidarianism is another one. Not the word, but its meaning, because DSP is someone to talk outside of his circle of knowledge and give unhelpful advice to people. It's a buyer's market for cars, right? The flu is worse than COVID-19. I think you heard enough about that. He also supports positions which go clearly against the evidence. He once told viewers that suicides in Japan are caused by the cramped living situation. His source? People told him back in the FGC days.
But there's so many people in Japan, it's insane. It's like that country is like way overpopulated. It's like, gee, I live in a country, wherever I go, people are packed in like fucking sardines. In order to even get a one bedroom, one bathroom, tiny closet-sized apartment is like the cost of a house in the United States. Gee, I wonder why everyone's depressed. I wonder. It's not rocket science. Minnow, no, I've not been to Japan, but I know all about it. I've researched it. I know people who have been there. And they've all confirmed exactly what I'm saying. They say, there's way too many people. Everything's insanely fucking expensive. It's a really nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, it probably couldn't have anything to do with the high social pressure and bullying, right? I wouldn't trust a guy who talked to a lawyer about copyright and can't tell libel and slander apart afterwards.
I actually looked into the law about this, just, you know, a few years ago. Talked to a lawyer. And I did some research about this.
Phil's the stupidest motherfucker ever, dog. Oh, bro, I love this video.
Okay.
It's just like...
You can't just say and do whatever you want.
By the bone,
you can't.
Bro.
If you actually are aiming to make someone look bad in a way that is not representative of the truth of the matter, it's considered either defamation or slander, depending on the medium. I believe it's slander, I believe is his printed word, and defamation would be everything else like spoken word.
Next, he loves...
Sorry, it's a game I'm playing is my CPU, bro. Okay.
To attack people instead of their arguments. He even goes so far as to void their credibility because of one mistake they made. Infamous for this is the escort saga lots of detractors, including myself, bought into. Mistakes in judgment are human for DSP, but once his opposition makes a mistake, they should never be trusted again. On one occasion, he shifted the blame to have learned the wrong meaning of rainy day fund, from a change in meaning over the years to the education system who taught me. Face it, he didn't pay attention to what the term meant and didn't feel compelled to look it up before using it. Nothing more.
That's what a rainy day fund always was. I was taught that in school. I remember studying the definition of it in fucking school. So maybe it's a different thing today, but that's not what it used to be. When's the last time I was in school? 2004?
DSP once discussed forms of intelligence on his own Q&A show. What a treat that was, let me tell you. Not just that he clearly has no idea what forms of intelligence actually exist. He also only favors those forms he actually has.
There's different kinds of intelligence. There's book smarts, there's street smarts, and there's common sense. Okay? That's what I feel. There's three core kinds of intelligence that humans can have.
What the hell form of intelligence are those anyway? Forms of intelligence I know are fluid, crystallized, verbal, numerical, or emotional, for example. You can find out by simply researching for a bit. And while we're on the topic of intelligence, do you remember the time DSP told his viewers that he actually fared well on intelligence tests? I did. because it was an unrecorded segment of a stream.
Like I said, I'm actually, even though a lot of the times I play like I'm stupid, I'm actually pretty smart when it comes to logic puzzles and stuff like that. I really am.
He does not play stupid,
I would never really talk about publicly, and obviously you wouldn't see me do logic puzzles on stream or whatever. But I've taken IQ tests before. I've done these kind of logic puzzles before, and I usually do really well.
Might I suggest he actually lied here? Unless he can provide information about who administered the test, why it was administered, what the name of the test was, and how exactly he scored. I'm not willing to believe anything he tells me about how well he did on any IQ test. DSP also loves to abuse the words logic, logical, and analytical to appear superior in a debate, especially when he argues on the merits of an emotional argument.
The people who criticize me the most are not logical. They're not logical humans. They will literally make conspiracy theories up. They will say whatever they want. It doesn't matter what I show you, none of it will prove anything. All right? That, when it's completely out of context, and anyone with a logical mind says you're an idiot. So enjoy wasting your time.
And for someone who claims to be a logical and rational, mature human adult, he sure loves to fall victim to numerous logical fallacies, such as the appeal to normality.
Messed up in the head. You would not be a normal person with a happy, robust, healthy life and go to somewhere like that and behave like those people do. Not one of those people is normal.
Argument from ignorance?
Well, now I also do things like drink cherry juice and stuff too, which, you know, not that it's scientifically proven, but hey, I've been drinking cherry juice for years now and I haven't had a major flare-up, so obviously it was doing something. All right, so...
Assuming fact, not an evidence?
I'm not insulting anyone, and I'm certainly not making fun. I'm saying anyone who would do the messed up things that people do to me, like stream sniping, are messed up in the head. That's not making fun of them. That's a factual observation. Saying something exists doesn't mean you're insulting it.
Circular reasoning?
If the things that I did were so grievous, such grievous, horrible actions, number one, I wouldn't have anyone tune into my streams. Everyone would hate me, and no one would be here to be supportive, to hang out with me. Number two, I'd be banned from Twitch. I'd be banned from YouTube. I'd be banned from the planet.
Ergo decido?
No. I'll do how I want, and if you don't like it, you can go fucking watch somebody else or do it yourself. Jesus.
False analogy?
When you cook food at home, it costs money. You have to pay for food. Now, if I'm out all day, alright, what's the difference if I go and I eat when I'm out and I pay for it when I'm out, or if I buy groceries and come home and cook the meal? It still costs money.
Generalization?
Tom says, I love the retro replays you were doing. I'm having fun with it. I like doing retro stuff. It's just sad that the modern audiences, I hate to say this, modern viewing audiences are very biased against it. When you play retro stuff, modern gamers are like, oh, it looks outdated, the gameplay's outdated. They won't give it a shot.
No true Scotsman.
It's funny how all the gamers on Metacritic absolutely loved it. Critics are just okay with it, the opposite of Last of Us 2. Yes, because those critics are idiots. They're not real gamers. They're morons looking for some insane artistic vision instead of a good fucking video game. They shouldn't have jobs. They shouldn't.
Poisoning the well?
Mingo Domingo is now $2 million. Now listen to what he's trying to do. Listen to how stupid this guy thinks I am. He's trying to put me into a trap. So let's read word for word what he says.
Red herring?
Someone actually just tipped me $1 and said, Tevin has given more back to his fans and to charity than you ever have, and you make more money than him. He breaks the law. You literally might as well say, yeah, well, the drug dealer down the fucking street, you know, donates to charity and does nice things for his customers. He breaks the law.
Relative privation.
Truth of the matter is, the coronavirus is not an epidemic. The flu virus is more dangerous than the coronavirus. More people worldwide are dying of the flu than coronavirus. The flu is a bigger problem.
And two wrongs make a right.
People insult me every single day 1,000,000 times, right? All I do is defend myself. So, if you're saying I shouldn't call him an idiot or a moron, okay, what should I just do? Say, gee, thanks for insulting me. You're really mean, and you know, at least if you strike back, at least it doesn't feel like you're trying to be victim complex constantly. Because I'm not.
And don't forget that he actually believes that such a thing as a silent majority exists.
You get to hear it that much because, like I said, I really feel that the people who like my content are a silent majority. There's obviously tons of people who watch my stuff right now. There's thousands of people watching this playthrough on YouTube, which is awesome because I don't usually get that much viewership.
A lot of speech is implicit when it comes to narcissists. We're only $5 into the Vesco and have 30 minutes left, guys. Make no mistake, that shit is implicit begging. I want you to hit the goal in the next 30 minutes is the implied speech. I have bills to pay, so please tip me today is the same as some panhandler approaching me asking for change because he wants to buy food. Whenever DSP utters the word, I never lie, or its negation, I always tell the truth, he actually means whatever I say should become the truth. As such, apologies from narcissists are hollow and reek of non-committal, as an actual apology is a sign of weakness and inferiority to them. I told you that narcissists love future faking. Committing to change after an apology is a facet of this. An apology accepted for DSP means that he can return to the status quo. He doesn't have to change and basically got a free pass to repeat wrongful behavior in the future. The same way Rambo told people that he made DSP apologize to him multiple times, but Phil never changed his behavior afterwards and thought he was free to make the same mistake later on. When other people face problems in their life, it's fobbed off with a simple, that sucks, or life is tough. Lack of empathy.
That one nice guy, bro. I'm sorry you had a depressing Thanksgiving. I mean, I've had my days there too. So I don't know. I probably know how it feels. But hopefully just chilling with the boys, you know? Got your boy. Me. Retarded Joe Murray. And then TJ. He's over there in the corner somewhere. Doing silly things. And then Sonic. Hopefully we give you a chuckle, bro. But nah, man, that sucks. That's why I'm here. I know some of y'all, you know, been there like your boy. And you shouldn't be, like, Thanksgivings shouldn't be, like, totally alone, you know? And I know it's kind of corny and gay. Because it kind of is, right? But, bro, you got the Bacon Social Club. You got your boys, you know? You got all these people in chat. And we're all chilling here together, you know? I'm thankful for you. And I'm thankful for all the motherfuckers that fuck with your boy in the Bacon Social Club, you know? Y'all make this shit what it is. It ain't even just my retarded ass yelling and spurring all day, you know? So I hope you know I am thankful for you, bro, you know? There's lots of people that love you and are thankful for you. But I do get it. And the holidays used to depress me too, bro. Like, looking back, like, you know, seeing all these people get gifts and eat with each other. You're sitting there like, man, fuck this shit. I wish I could blow all you fuckers up. But I don't know what's going on with you. But you know what I mean? I hope you're doing okay. You do have friends here, so.
Empathy or not, can he not try a little harder to feel bad for other people? I guess that little bit of faking more empathy is too much to ask for.
Oh, bro, I used to hate Christmas. You know? Because my birthday's the 23rd of December. Fucking, my whole life, I never really had a birthday. Like a birthday party, bro. I never had a birthday party or you know, like, you know, with a fucking single parent mom or whatever. If I wanted a good gift, it was either like, I got one good gift, right? Or I got a bunch of garbage kind of done. So growing up, I always had to pick one thing and tell my mom, I want this. This is what I want. I don't care if you don't give me anything else, dude. And then I could never have birthday parties and shit, bro. It sucked. Yeah, dude. Christmas sucked.
But once DSP faces issues, it's a huge deal. And everyone mistreated him. Nobody helped him. Everyone was incompetent, and he knows better than anyone. The Liana Hospital saga proves this.
I'd be like, fuck Christmas. All these happy motherfuckers, bro. Able to buy each other things, and people love them and give them things. Man, fuck these motherfuckers. I hope all these fuckers die on Christmas. I used to be just a fucking really angry person for sure, bro.
DSP's grandiosity at this point could be bigger than his son when he stated that the loss of life in his earlier years would have some kind of lasting ripple effect across the entire globe.
Is that I almost died. The door impacted to within about an inch of my head, so I almost ate it. And you know, man, that would have been a different scenario for the world, huh? If I never existed as a content creator and stuff, you know, a lot of things would have been different, I guess.
These are methods for madness. Evidently, the narcissist won't drive themselves insane, but everyone who stops to think about these issues for long enough and has the capacity for empathy, or even wants to help someone like this, will inevitably drag themselves into a maelstrom of reproach and regret. So, when you're left with an individual refusing help from any angle of attack, is there anything you can do? It comes down to a simple math equation, and all you have to do is to remove yourself from that equation. After all what you just heard, do you still believe you can help a narcissist to be not narcissistic? I applaud your determination if you do. I do seem rather pessimistic about that issue. Nature played us all a fool and presented us with a problem which can't be fixed by facing it head on, but by fixing people around it instead. Giving people in the vicinity of a narcissist the vital information of how to deal with them is helping more than trying to make a narcissist change, especially if they don't even acknowledge their issues. The deeply rooted lack of insight a narcissist carries around with them prevents them from facing their issues in any capacity. To invoke bad feelings in a narcissist ends up in projection. The offer of constructive criticism may be accepted, but not transformed into anything tangible. You do good to not try to get involved too much with them, as they will likely drag you down with them once you decide to go serious. Whenever possible, try to avoid them. Give them the widest berth that you can. But sometimes you don't want to or can't do that. In that case, here are the things that you can do. For once, in your interaction with narcissist, don't do what I just did. Don't try to point out their flawed behavior. I'm not saying that to shield the narcissist, but simply to save you the blood pressure and time. I know there's a big community of people who like to poke DSP constantly.
Nah, I'm about this shit. About this life, okay? I don't care. I die of a heart attack, I'll die of a heart attack. I do this shit for the love of the motherfucking game! Oh! I do. Joe Murray, don't forget this shit, okay? The Bacon Social Club is always gonna be open, because I do this for the love of the motherfucking game, bro. I don't care. The doctor's like, Joe Murray, you watch too much DSP. Gotta cut your arm off. But bro, like, if you cut my arm off, like, you think I'll be able to possibly see the end of the DSP? There's a 75% chance that yes, you will. Cut this fucker off. Cut this shit clean off. I do this shit for the love of the game, okay? Let's go.
And as long as you keep what should stay on the internet actually on the internet,
I love this shit.
I take no issue with you. It's all lighthearted fun at the end of the day, which a seemingly overgrown child gets upset over and bans you for, because that is his last refuge of power over you. Even in rare moments of clarity, where DSP is serious about his true feelings, he couldn't tell you why he acts the way he does. This is simply because narcissists don't know their whys.
So here's what's unfortunate, gang. They're never going to be able to give you an answer to this question. And whatever answer they give you is going to be so deeply unsatisfying that you're going to be more confused and upset than you were when it began. And there's a simple reason for this. You ready? Narcissists don't know their why. They're actually very unclear on their motivations. Because let me tell you this, because this is where the mindfuck is. They do not wake up in the morning and saying, I'm going out to gaslight, and then I'm going to do some manipulating, and by 3 o'clock it's time for exploitation, and then at 7 o'clock I'm going to lie. That's not how they go through the day. They go through their day to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to protect their fragile ego. And they protect their fragile ego by seeking out validation, being grandiose, being really superficial, acting really entitled, and not bothering themselves with the feelings of other people. That's how they protect that insecure, fragile ego.
DSP has no insight into his motivations. He doesn't know what drives him. He knows what he wants, fame and money for his supposed hard work he provided, but he doesn't know what makes him act the way he does. The primary goal is to protect his fragile ego. Insecurity defines most of his actions as he ventures through life. Unsure about his future, he stops planning for it and starts to live in the moment. Impulsivity is what follows. Sometimes things don't go the way he wants to. He learns that through manipulation and hostility, he can get through to what he wants, and assumes these are healthy human personality traits. He starts projecting negative feelings he experiences onto others in order to cope with them. He notices that it's easier to manipulate people if they think they are alone in their way of thinking. He starts gaslighting them, and it just seems to work. "I can get away with this" changes to "this is who I've always been," or "everyone does this anyway, so why not me?" It finds abode in his personality and dictates his behavior from now on. Anyone who dares pointing out his ridiculousness is some lunatic or conspiracy theorist who has got too much time on their hand. What I'm trying to say is that he acts from a position of constant insecurity. Once you start to realize that DSP is essentially out for acknowledgement from people he doesn't know, you realize it's like some kind of drug for him. This is where your first angle of attack lies. Narcissists love when you react. It doesn't matter how you do it. They love it because it gives them the satisfaction of choosing either to manipulate you, or it gives them the narcissistic supply they need should you just blindly support them. The only viable method of dealing with this is with indifference. If there's one thing narcissists hate the most, and they hate it to the core, it's indifference. They absolutely cannot stand it when people don't give a fuck about them, no matter what they do. They'll actually get depressed if that happens, and they'll start seeking mental help. Obviously, the depression will improve, but not the narcissism. The social media realm is rife with narcissistic people, and many onlookers are oblivious to it. Many excuse it as a strong personality or some kind of show of force. But in this day and age, social media favors those who are narcissistic. It helps climbing the ranks in the hierarchy. You have to understand, though, that these people are not inherently evil. They don't actively seek to hurt others, but sometimes seek revenge for perceived hurt.
That they may not set out to hurt you. They just don't care enough to think about whether their behavior actually will hurt you. And after they do hurt you, they don't really care that they did hurt you. And all
what shows you Phil is, to a degree, a really bad manipulator. Because, like, dog, the people that give a fuck about Phil, right? Like, the people that end up being fans of him, they actually fall for his shit. They fall for his shit, and they think that he gives a fuck about them and interacting with them and all that shit, right? But then they find out he doesn't. He just wants your cash, bro. That's how the Dutch brothers are fucking detractors now. You know?
All of that.
And dude, no bullshit. They're the last people, I think, that are documented that have actually given Phil, when Phil goes, "A fan gave me this." Dude, when he says it nowadays, it's fucking fake, okay? Because the last time this, like, a fan's given Phil anything, it was the Dutch brothers. And Phil made sure you knew it. "Oh yeah, the Dutch brothers, they gave me these LED lights, and they gave me a new webcam, and all this stuff for them." And dude, Phil pissed them off so much, right, that like some of the, I don't even know which half of the Dutch brothers it is, right? But they be kicking it with the boys now, you know?
Can really leave you feeling
like they're
a bit
full-blown
confused.
detractors now because of Phil.
Narcissists are not predators. They are more a force of nature, hurting people around them without even realizing it. Being surprised by what the narcissist says gives them power. Being outraged by what they do gives them power. So should we just ignore them? Not quite. Respond, but don't react is the best way if you have to engage with someone like this. Reaction is what the narcissist seeks. It confirms that they can still manage to manipulate people into what they want. By choosing to not argue on the merits of what the narcissist says and staying true to your intentions without diversion will not often reward you with results, but with more sanity than trying to argue the countless insults and projection thrown your way. Another big part in successfully dealing with them is stopping to excuse their ridiculous behavior. As I said before, an apology is not an apology for a narcissist. For them, it means that I can repeat the same manipulation later on.
Most of us issue second chances with zeal. Our storytelling in our culture is immersed in tales of hope, redemption, and forgiveness. And while that's all very healthy, in the wrong hands, hope and forgiveness may not represent an opportunity for growth or change or restoration, but rather permission to just keep things going as they are. Because with narcissists, forgiveness is interpreted as, hey, let's just keep the status quo.
When it's used as a rationalization, when their backstory, when their history is conveniently pulled out as an excuse for their bad behavior, this is a great chance for you to gracefully exit in a very compassionate way and say, I'm sorry that happened to them, not my problem. Because that's the key you've got to remember. You're not responsible for their history, and nothing you do can undo that history for them. So many people buy into the fairy tale myth that if I love this person enough, if I'm good enough to them, if I sit here and listen to them the way their parents didn't, then that will clean the slate and all of that bad stuff will go away and they'll fall into the warmth of my love and they'll get it. Kinda not how it goes.
Accept apologies of people who actually mean it, deserve it, and show the commitment for change. Don't excuse some facetious, sorry you felt that way, but I might repeat that mistake later on, so please excuse me now. Pessimistic as I might be, the truth is that narcissism is a pattern which is highly resistant to change and likely won't change on its own.
Rule number one, and live by this one: narcissists do not change. So either manage your expectations if you plan on staying in the relationship, or get out.
However, just because you understand them doesn't mean that the narcissist's behavior is going to change.
The most painful realization is that narcissistic patterns are just not that amenable to change. At a minimum, for any change to occur, the narcissist has to recognize the harmful pattern of their behavior, then they have to want to change it, and then they have to put in the daily work of change. There is a small number of cases where that's kind of happened, but under conditions of stress and frustration, the usual issues of rage will pop up, the rubber band of personality returns to its usual shape and size.
Even with therapy, there is little to no hope that someone like DSP can change. Adjust your expectations accordingly. Expect that DSP will say or do something outrageous from time to time to keep the attention up and keep his interactions buzzing. Expect him to wear ridiculous pieces of clothing which promise him more income. Expect him to have misinformed opinions on topics of current public relevance. Expect him to show no empathy and act impulsive. Expect him to look for his narcissistic supply. Expect him to attempt to manipulate you. There's always going to be another obstacle he has to overcome. Another situation he can bolster his victimhood with. Another lie to gaslight his viewers with. But too much of it is never enough for him. Everything for just another dose of that sweet, sweet public admiration.
A relationship with a narcissist is a gradual indoctrination. You slowly become inured to their lack of empathy, their tantrums, their rage, their insults, and their entitlement, their lies and their challenges to your reality. Their insulting words slowly become your self-talk, and before you know it, your new mantra becomes, I am not enough.
Eventually, it comes down to this. DSP is like an Indian tech support scammer to me. He'll lure you in under false pretenses, create an illusion of your necessity to help by throwing money at a problem, and tries to convince you with meaningless babble and bloated speech even he himself doesn't understand, abuses you emotionally should you prove difficult to deal with, and finally dismiss you if you're of no help to him. He's not a good streamer. He's not a good entertainer. He sucks at keeping an audience entertained by himself. Some people enjoy him anyway. Some people really fucking hate his guts. And most of the people don't even fucking care. Some supporters risk an arm and a leg to send DSP gifts they will receive no recognition for. Some detractors will risk time in jail for bringing this internet feud into real life. It's a weird fucking dynamic, and I enjoyed being part of it for at least some time. But I have to acknowledge that it ultimately leads nowhere. I'm not even disappointed. I had and will have tons of laughs because of him, for all the wrong reasons. With DSP, there just is no goal, only pointing and laughing. My prognosis? The guy won't ever change, and if he does, it's just because something forces him to. There's just no drive to be creative or interesting. Just do same shit different day and expect things to be different by the time the next game releases. No talent, no imagination. Hype up game, play game, tell people that game sucks, buy sequel.
But it's worse. It's worse nowadays. It's like, eat burger, hype up next burger, eat burger. Dude, literally, like, in real life. Like, it ain't even about the games. It's like, give me money, I'll eat literally another burger in front of your face. Isn't that a reward? Bro, oh my god. This video is evergreen as shit.
Cool anyway. This is DSP's last resort. He makes the most money doing this than he has ever in his life. People enable him, and many more dislike him. This could be the slowest burn the world has ever witnessed. The most interesting DSP has been when shit actually happens to him. Jim Can't Swim recently offered a great explanation as to why people are naturally drawn to disasters, which I feel like, to some degree, also applies to internet lolcows, even though a greater part can be explained by morbid curiosity and sheer entertainment.
And the reasoning is that destruction commands our attention in a way that nothing else can. It's quite simply human nature to be drawn to disaster, and the scientific explanation is that it actually triggers our survival instincts. It's recognized as a reflex response, occurs subconsciously, and is sometimes referred to as the train wreck theory. It stimulates our brain to analyze and interpret the information in front of us, and then evaluate this information to see if it is a threat to you or not. If it's not a threat, we feel a mild sense of relief, but if it is a threat, our brains immediately decide whether you should face it or run away from it. Each time this system takes effect, it builds a preventative mechanism for avoiding danger altogether in the future, and also develops our ability to process the same type of information faster and in a more accurate manner.
And most importantly, don't waste your time trying to find out why DSP does the things that he does. I'm glad I could save you some time trying to wrap your head around it, because that shit took me more than a year to find a satisfactory answer for. But don't think of me like I'm doing God's work or some shit, because I'm not. My morbid curiosity was interested in this specific lolcow, and I just wanted to understand why he's so unpopular. And I think I found my answer, which I wanted to share with you. But alas, of course, I might be wrong about all of this. I'm certainly not saying this is the ultimate psychoanalysis of Philip Paul Bernal, which it actually isn't, because I've told you as much in the disclaimer. DSP might actually not be a narcissist. One possible other explanation is that DSP simply chooses to behave like a narcissist. It is entirely possible, but I would question why. Another explanation could be that I'm just missing the forest for the trees. Maybe there's a greater issue with him that I'm just not seeing. Maybe I'm just completely wrong about all of this. Maybe this is just normal behavior for someone like him. I'm reminding you again, this entire video is abductive reasoning. An incomplete set of observations is used to infer to the simplest, most likely explanation, which is not necessarily true. Maybe someone else has a better explanation for his behavior. Maybe DSP's just incredibly egotistical, and I'm just some overzealous nitwit blinded by confirmation bias. Feel free to share your thoughts with me if you wish to do so. Before I conclude, I wanted to leave you with one final clip from DSP. I found it recently through the help of another detractor Twitter. It's from shortly before the move. You've already seen it in the poor boundaries section of part 2, but now I'm going to play the clip in full. Here he describes his relationship with his parents and explains to his audience how his mother treated him.
They were having problems with their marriage at the time when I was in high school. They may or may not have cheated on each other. I don't know or care, because it's not my fucking business and I don't give a shit what they did, right? But what they decided to do, they decided to put me in the middle of it and make me the center of the issue. So, well, we hate each other's guts. Look what you're doing. You're going to tear our family apart. What's going to happen to Phil because of this and that? And literally they make me the center of it when really I had nothing to fucking do with it. It was those two. So no, you can't go out with your friends. You got to stay home and save your money and do what we tell you and this or that. And basically they made me more like an object than anything else in their ongoing marital battle that they had when I was in high school. Go ahead, but we don't approve.
I remember this. This and then the Wolverine story. And then there's one other story, bro. It's this, the Wolverine story. And there's one other story that Phil's actually told us, right? About his childhood. That is really revealing about why he is the way he is.
Proof of what you're doing, and you're wasting your life and your money, and it was like never good enough for them, right? They were always super over-disciplined. My parents trusted me enough to buy me a car, and I got into a car accident.
No, I was thinking of 3 different things. Yeah, it's only this and the Wolverine story, bro. The Wolverine toy. Like him in the car accident and how his parents bitched at him. And how he bitched at his parents for the Wolverine story. Literally, it's like a story of give and take, an origin story of why he feels so entitled to things.
In it. It wasn't my fault, but it ended up being my fault because the guy who was at fault, who swerved in front of me and almost ran me off the road, took off. So there was I didn't get to see his license plate, no one got a witness, so they said, oh, you lost control of your car. I'm like, no, this guy almost hit me, but they wrote it off as it was my fault. The car got totaled, all right? The first thing my mom says to me in the hospital is not, are you okay? Oh my God, what happened? No. Why did you disobey my wishes and drive on that highway? I told you not to. And at that point, I said, you know what? Fuck this. Because if you're going to make life about you and not about me anymore, I don't care.
I watched this clip, and I could hear the click in my head. Suddenly, it started to all make sense. When I started to learn about narcissism, many mental health care professionals told me that narcissists are likely a result of simultaneous overvaluation, conditional love, and inadequate validation from their parents. Even though I know this is possibly just a 1% window into the relationship DSP and his mother had, I'd risk going out on a huge limb that his relationship with his mother might have been riddled with similar emotional conflicts as seen in this clip. Maybe this is a hint for something. But maybe I'm just stupid and it's just a shot in the dark. Anyway, I'm at my wit's end and at the end of this video as well. Thank you for watching or listening if you made it this far. If you're interested in learning more about narcissism, Dr. Todd Grande, Dr. Les Carter, and Dr. Ramani Durvasula offer a big library of YouTube videos and discuss different topics relating to narcissism for further research. One final question remains. How does one manage to appease the hunger of an insatiable ego when there's nothing left to give?
This is one of the best DSP videos I think ever made. It's like top 5, bruh. It legitimately is. It just gets to the core of who Phil is. And if you tend to be a detractor, right, that takes it all so seriously, like, bro, just watch this and then go smoke some fucking pot and take a break, right? But I don't know. This video is really, really informative about why Phil is the way he is and the way he acts. He just gets to it, you know? Like, I like Steven the Dead, you know what I'm saying? Me and him interact sometimes. But, you know what I'm saying? This guy, this video hits harder than, like, an 8-hour Steven the Dead video. It does. You know, it just kind of cuts through all the minutia and kind of gets to it if you're not really trying to, like, spin years in the vortex like some of us, right? But I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. It's Thanksgiving. I have work in the morning. I hope some of you guys don't. I really do. I hope some of you guys fucking don't, man. And if you don't, enjoy your fucking day off. If you have to work like me, don't work too hard, bro. When am I gonna be here? Oh, I'll be here tomorrow night for DS Politics. Phil say he's gonna talk about tariffs, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna warn you, I'm probably gonna spurg the fuck out a bunch. Cause not only does Phil not know how tariffs work, Trump don't even know how tariffs work. But we're gonna get educated together. Cause honestly, I know more about tariffs than Trump or Phil, but I don't know fully how they work, you know? I'm a fucking goddamn chef, dog. You know, I'm not gonna ever act like, oh, I'm so smart. I'm not. I'm a fucking retard sometimes, right? So, before we get into DS Politics tomorrow, we're actually gonna dig into what tariffs are, how they, like, affect fucking countries, and all that bullshit. So, those of you guys that don't know shit about tariffs, right, like, fully, we could get a little educated before we hear this dumbass retard Phil sit here and talk about, do propaganda for Trump and shit, pretty much, dog. Oh my god. Ugh, I'm already getting pissed. But yeah, bro, we're gonna have fun. It should be a good time. Hopefully I see you guys there. Till the next episode, take care of yourselves and each other. Don't work too hard. Drink plenty of water, smoke plenty of weed. Happy Thanksgiving, my friends. Don't eat too much food. Okay, that's not good for your stomach. Take it easy. You can eat all the food, right? But just don't be a fucking glutton. Don't be a DSP.